Welcome to episode 4 of The Very Metal Diary of Cleo Howard, 1997. Saturday, 15th of February. Mum bought me some half-price heart-shaped chocolates from the shop that she works in. Every time I've seen her at so-called work, she's gossiping and mildly packing people's shopping. This gossip while you work arrangement has got me in a lot of trouble in the past. I've been reported by acquaintances of Mum's for not wearing my bobble hat in winter, and also, more seriously, for smoking. Tyrannosaurus Reg and Simon the Raspberry were at the Green Man briefly tonight, but it was a bittersweet meeting. They left to go and meet some girls. I can smell Reg for at least half an hour after he's left anywhere. If he ever came round my house, I'd need to squirt the Mr. Sheen about to mask his manly, musky scent before Mum got in. I'm glad I've already got this planned. I wish the Valentine's card I got was from him, but I'm sure it's not. Sadly, I'm at least a year too young for him to notice. Sunday, 16th of February. I went to see Nanny Howard with Dad. She made us trifle. She let me sprinkle the hundreds and thousands on the top. Also, she found my pom-pom makers. These are circles of plastic that you put together and then you wrap wool around them, making a sort of donut until the middle vanishes. And then you cut through all the wool around the circumference. You see, I do know some maths words. And then tie a strand of wool around the middle and remove the plastic circles. I used to love these, but that was 5 years ago. I've brought them home with me so as not to offend Nanny. She gave me some wool to go with them. Monday, 17th of February. I've had a terrible day at school. At morning break, T. Reg said that all ginger girls have really strawberry pink nipples, and he asked me if he could look at mine to check. I went bright red in front of everyone. And then in maths, which is a horrible lesson anyway, Karina asked me if I spray my jeans on, and she said she can't see a pant line, so I can't have any knickers on. Jenny gave her a look, and she shut up. Things didn't get much better after school. I went to see Nanny Brooks with Mum. Today is Nanny's birthday. We took her a box of milk tray and a card with a yellow rose on it. I chose the card. Nanny used to tell me that yellow roses were for love and red roses were for lust. I was only about 10 when she told me that. Even then her memory was a bit sketchy and sometimes she didn't seem to be sure who she was talking to. Today was really sad. She didn't know it's her birthday even though she'd had cards in the post and the warden of the sheltered housing had made her a cake. Sheltered housing is a bit like an Enid Blyton boarding school for old people. Every day they can do things together, like play bingo or watch telly in the day room. It's quite hard to chat to Nanny. Mum usually talks to her about things from decades ago. It's weird how she can remember a telly advert from the 70s, but she can't remember her own birthday. Today, she was fondly remembering the milk tray man. I spent the evening finishing a mixtape I'm making for Ian. Side 1 has Sepultura's The Hunt, Suicidal Tendencies, How Will I Laugh Tomorrow, Entombed, doing Love Gun by Kiss, Ministries, Burning Inside, Death's Pull the Plug, Danzig's Devil's Plaything, The Misfits' She, Zodiac Mind Warp's Let's Break the Law, Carnival's Male Supremacy, Black Sabbath's Evil Woman, Pantera's I'm Broken, and Megadeth's In My Darkest Hour. Side 2 has Suicidal Tendencies, War Inside My Head, Wolfsbane's I Like It Hot, Danzig's The Hunter, White Zombie's More Human Than Human, 9 Inch Nails' Sanctified, Anthrax' I Am the Law, The Offspring's Self-Esteem, Angel Fuck by the Misfits, Walk by Pantera, and Zodiac Mind Warp Set My Criminal Free. I squeezed on half of Carnival's Predator, but then the tape ran out. It's always the way. Tuesday, 18th of February. I still don't know who my Valentine's card was from. Ian said that maybe the sender spelt my name wrong on purpose to throw me off the scent, but that sounds daft. We walked past the sports centre again today, and the long-haired builder was there. Jenny stopped to tie her shoelace, which wasn't even undone, and he said, "Morning, ladies," to us. Ian got in a bit of a huff because of being included in the morning ladies. This does happen if people see him from behind. His long hair is absolutely gorgeous, but also a touch womanly. I made a massive lasagna in home ec. All the recipes we do are for a family of 4, but not many people in my class actually live in a family of 4. What we need is a broken home ec. We got some post addressed to Josie Ashton at number 96. She's one of the women who I thought was Welsh, but is actually a lesbian. I took it round and put it in her box, and then I giggled all the way back to our house. Wednesday, 19th of February. I had a very weird day at school today. It was my turn to be on reception duty. This, dear diary, is a sort of slave labour scheme where you miss a whole day of lessons, which is brilliant, but you have to sit outside Mr. Murray, the headmaster's office, and run errands for him, which is not so brilliant. It's like you're his servant for the day. If he wants to call you in to fan him with a big book, or call you in to peel grapes for him, or so that he can use you as a footstool, or so that he can make you ring up his enemies and then quickly call them a wanker before slamming the phone down, then that's what you must do. You're meant to read while you're not doing errands, but I mostly stared out the window. I got a couple of good errands. I took a message to the sports centre, past the long-haired builder, but he was absorbed in mixing some cement. And I also had to take a trolley of tea and biscuits to and then from a meeting. The school secretary, Mrs. Nicholson, let me have a biscuit. I also had to go and get Owen Tranter, who is the hardest kid in the school, out of his class and escort him to Mr. Murray's office, where he was probably going to get a detention. Mr. Murray wasn't ready for him, so he had to stay in reception with me. I remained seated. He's got a reputation for biting, and I didn't want to make any sudden movements. He spent ages just kicking the skirting board and glaring. He's mates with T-Reg, so he doesn't tend to bother us metal people much, but he's feared throughout the school. Thursday, 20th of February. Mum asked me today what I want for my birthday. I said vodka, Malibu, a Type A negative t-shirt, a black leather skirt, my tongue pierced, a tattoo, a bass guitar, and loads of CDs. She said I could have a t-shirt and CDs, but the other stuff I'll have to wait until I've left school for. She said a bass guitar was too expensive right now, but if I still want one at Christmas, I might be lucky. What I really want for my birthday is all of the above, plus the issue of Playgirl with Peter Steele in it. He's in the nude, dear diary. A snog with someone, or everyone, on my God's list. Dad to move back in. Bigger boobs, and to become good at maths. On another matter, if Matty Bateman asks you to pull his finger, dear diary, don't do it. I only really talk to him because him and Ian are mates. He's very childish, and he's only interested in his computer. Friday, 21st of February. I've updated my God's list, just in case the cosmic forces of the universe are aligning to provide me with yesterday's wish for a snog. My God's list is as follows. 1. Jeff Hanneman. I don't usually fancy blonde blokes, but he's an exception. 2. David St. Hubbins. 3. Zodiac Mindwarp. 4. Glenn Danzig. 5. Santanico Pandemonium. 6. Pete Steele. 7. Dave Lister. 8. Joey DeMeo. 9. Rob Newman. And 10. Sean from White Zombie. If I get to snog any of the above, then I'm renaming this month February. I think my taste in men is maturing. I'm not so narrow-minded that I only fancy men with dark hair any longer. Red Dwarf was on tonight. They went to Pride and Prejudice World. I tried to read Pride and Prejudice once, but it was boring. It was just about getting married, which I'm not sure I want to do. Also, Mr. Darcy reminds me of Moby Dick, who's sort of grouchy when you try and be friendly to him. Saturday, 22nd of February. Jenny asked what I thought about Dolly today. At first I thought she'd gone wrong in the head and was referring to Dolly Parton, but it's actually a cloned sheep called Dolly. I'm glad I'm good at English because science leaves me a bit baffled. It seems that they've basically made a sheep using only one sheep, not 2 sheep. Anyway, something even better happened today. I was looking at the pub jukebox and the barman called me over. I was worried that he was going to ask me for ID, but he gave me 3 free songs. He didn't have long hair, but he was still quite cute. I chose Megadeth's Sweating Bullets for Ian, Sisters of Mercy's More for Jenny, and Typo Negative's Love You to Death for me. Then I worried that the barman would think that my songs were a secret coded message to him, which they weren't. And then T-Reg, Darren, Shot and Ella came in. T-Reg was trying out his chat-up lines in the pub. These are his best ones. Do you like camping? Because you've made me erect a tent in my pants. Do you know you've got eyes like spanners? They make my nuts tighten. Is there a mirror in your knickers? Because I can see myself in them. I've never spoken much to Ella, but she seems okay. I'd like to ask her what it was like doing it with Bob. Me and Jenny told her about our gods lists. Ella fancies Sebastian Bach, fair enough. Steven Tyler, scarily large mouth, but probably a brilliant shag. Because he's quite old, so he's had loads of practice. Vince Neil, I'm afraid I'm a Tommy Lee or a Nikki Sixx girl. And of course, John Bon Jovi. Sunday, 23rd of February. I had a massive lie-in and I thought about chat-up lines. I don't have any. And even if I had some, I suspect that I'd struggle to use them. These are my potential chat-up lines. Hello, Pen. Fancy a shag? Okay, I've nicked this from Edward Hitler of Bottom fame, but I have to start somewhere. Secondly, would you like a worm do? Okay, I've nicked this from Arnold Rimmer. Thirdly, nice t-shirt, but it'd look even better on my bedroom floor. But I'm not allowed boys in my room, so this chat-up line is unusable. I also thought about science. If I was a scientist, I'd investigate how to get a chest like Dolly Parton's and leave creating sheep from only one sheep right to the end of my to-do list. Sheep seem to have got making more sheep sorted without our human intervention. Also, Mum says lamb's fatty, so we don't have it. Also, I could live without knitwear. I just wear a long-sleeve t-shirt under my usual short-sleeve t-shirt in winter. Monday, 24th of February. It's half term this week and it snowed a bit today. Also, I got my period. At least I got it when I was at home and there's some sanitary towels. I hate those words. Mum can't even say it. She says, do you need some more STs when I go shopping? Actually, I do need some more STs. I haven't got all of their albums. Tuesday, 25th of February. We ran out of cheese, so I made Marmite and spaghetti hoop toasted sandwiches. They were amazing. Well, the second round were. Don't overfill them or the bread won't toast properly. I presented Ian with a dilemma. Would he rather have the guitar talent of Dave Mustaine or the long tongue of Gene Simmons? He answered instantly that he'd rather have the guitar talent of Dave. Wednesday, 26th of February. I spent all day at Jenny's. Brie is quite nice, except the white bit at the edge, but it turns out that you're not meant to eat that bit anyway. We watched The Lost Boys and Edward Scissorhands. Jenny told me that she doesn't intend to lose her virginity until she's been with someone for at least 6 months. She wants something special, she says, not some hurried fumble while someone's parents are out, or worse still, in the park. Her brother Bruce's girlfriend Minty is allowed to stay over in Bruce's room, but they are 19 and they've been together for ages. It sounds like Jenny is expecting choirs of angels and clouds parting to reveal shafts of sunlight to be attendant on her first shag. Also, she says there's a lot you can do without having actual sex, although she hasn't done any of it yet. Ian spends a lot of time playing Doom with Matty, which along with music seems to fascinate him more than sex. Although, if Natalie West was an option, he'd be up there faster than a great cat solo. I find some men totally fascinating. The way they smile, the way they move. Such coiled power in the trouser snake, ready to strike, but is it venom or is it a love potion? I got given a dilemma from Jenny today. If I was alone with T-Reg for one night, and no one would ever find out what we did, and if we had condoms, would I do it with him? I just don't know. Until I was really there, really in that situation, I just can't say. Thursday, 27th of February. Today is my 15th birthday. I've had a brilliant day. Mum bought me a massive Body Shop vanilla gift set, a small bottle of vodka, a Type A Negative t-shirt, and she gave me vouchers for HMV because she said she didn't want to buy the wrong CDs. She also got me a brilliant chocolate cake. Ian gave me a red leather studded belt, and Jenny got me a 9 Inch Nails vest top. I'm going to wear both to the pub on Saturday. I have such awesome friends, and I've had such a brilliant day. Friday, 28th of February. Dad took me and Nanny Howard for tea and TGI Fridays. I think it must be hard for them to recreate an American diner near a busy roundabout on a retail park in Reading. There were lots of toddlers running about being noisy, much to Nanny Howard's disgust. She had a burger, but she ate it with a knife and fork. I don't think she was very impressed. Dad had steak. There was a letter missing from the words in chrome around the bar, so that it read, "Good Imes" instead of "Good Times." It was a bit shabby. There was a nice picture of the Fonz, and some of the music wasn't too terrible, but there was some Springsteen. Dad bought me a chunky silver chain necklace with a star on it, and Nan gave me a matching bracelet. I put both on straight away. I had a burger, which I ate like a normal person, and also an ice cream sundae. It's always really nice to see Dad, but then it's sad when he goes home to his bedsit, and I go home, which used to be his home too. I can't say the things I want to say to him when we're surrounded by people. And also, I've never seen his bedsit. I think it's probably really crappy, and he's protecting me from it. He could live with Nanny Howard if he wanted, but I don't think he does. Why does no one in my family get on properly? Mum makes us all pretend we do in front of other people, but it's all just a big act. Sometimes I'd like to go back to the 60s, when people loved each other and there wasn't AIDS. The only downside would be the lack of decent music.